Hi everybody, we're into March, tag roulette, very excited. Hope you enjoyed January and February. So let's do our number generator. So we have this month number 18, we haven't had 18 yet. Number 33, we haven't had that yet. And number 3, oh, it feels like bingo. Right, so we've got 18, 33 and 3, so I'm keeping a bingo, so we'll never duplicate any of them. Right then, let's see what we're up to today. So number 33 was, oh, it's stuck together, oh nuts. Number 33, oh, it's the flags. Oh, that's exciting. 33 was flags. Number 3 will be this way. Oh yes, it's my favourite. Oh my god, loads of you will be cursing. So it's the scrappy strips. That's well exciting. And number 12, 13, should have these in order, shouldn't I? I feel like I need to sing while we're doing this. Number, so on this one, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh my god, paper piecing. Oh, this is going to be, oh, I can't spell piecing. P-I-E-C-E, paper piecing. Oh my gosh, that's very exciting. So there's our 3 prompts for this month. So I am going to do my usual. I'm going to toddle off and get loads of fabrics and stuff like that, and I'll be back in a second with this month's tag roulette. Right, we're back. So I've gathered together some stuff, so you can see from last month we have got our white, bit of macrame, it's coming off, bit of macrame, which was a bit stressful, cross stitch, and then we've got the daisy stitch, seed stitch and couching. So I've had a bit of a play, added some other bits, and actually this bit now has sort of set my colour theme for what I'm going to do. So I've just pulled out a load of fabrics that are within the colours of what I've started doing, and a few perlé threads. So I'm not going to work on the whole thing, I'm just going to get you started, because obviously one of the things that you can do is just go back to that month and just have a look at the whole video just to get an idea of what's going on. So we've got paper piecing, which was flag 18. So what I've done is just on PowerPoint, there's a hexagon shape. So I've sort of planned out a little bit of paper piecing that's going to go on there. So you can try different shaped hexagons. I know we did really tiny ones on the tag, but we're obviously working on a bigger piece now, so you can play around with that a little bit more. So your paper piecing, I've got my little hexagon here, and what we're going to do is wrap the fabric around the paper. So we're just going to fold in one edge, then fold in the other, and then what we're going to do is just tack the fabric on the back. So I'm not going through the paper, I'm just going through, she says, just going through that little bit of fabric. So I'm just going to go through that twice, just so I've anchored that bit down. There we go. So I've just anchored that down. Then turn around to the next bit, fold that bit in, and again just go through that edge, fold it round, fold that in, put your stitch through, okay, round to the next bit. Just make sure your paper's nice and central in your bit of fabric, and it's got off a bit wonky donkeys. As long as I'm going to catch that in, that's fine. Yep, and got that caught just there. And what you do is you do this with all your hexagons, and then you just stitch them together and then tack them onto your piece. So this making the hexes is quite nice to do while you're watching the telly. So just pull that just so it's got it nice and tight, not too tight, and then just do a little stitch, little knot. And the paper actually, well, some people leave the paper in, but once I've got it all stitched together, I'll pull the paper out, and then these are going to get tacked on depending on where you want them to go. So I'll make a variety of these. I'll put some of them maybe grouped together. You could just have the odd one just on its own if you've got really, really nice fabric. One of the things that you can do, just so these hold in shape, is when you've done that, you just give it a bit of an iron, and it'll just keep those creases really, really nice and sharp. So that's the first one, which is your paper piecings. That was tag 8. The next one was the scrappy strips, which was tag number 3. So what I've done is I've cut out a load of little strips. So you're going to need your iron for this. So cut out your strips, and what you want to do is iron them in half. So it works well with nice fine fabrics. I'm just using a little crafty iron that I have, and so I don't know, it's just really, really handy. I did have big irons that I bought, but they're just a bit of a faff to get out all the time. And the mat that I'm working on is just a big wool ironing mat. It's actually a great surface to work on because you can stick your needles in it and pins in it and plan stuff out, but then it's already there if you need it with your iron. So this one was a little bit faffy to do, but the effect was great. Well, I liked it anyway. I know a lot of you didn't. A lot of people were quite stressed with what was going on with this one. So obviously if you get to a tag that was one of your favourites, you can do lots on your piece. If you get to one that wasn't a favourite, you can just do a little bit, but you have to include something, otherwise you're cheating. Right, let's get a few more of these ironed. There we go. So quite a nice combination, these ones, because this is adding like fabric to your piece. So think about your composition, how you're laying it all out. Sometimes if you're not too sure, it could be quite good to turn your piece upside down, because I think we always start doing something and think, oh, that's the right way around, but sometimes then when you flip it over or twist it, I trimmed a bit off mine because I decided it was too big, it can be really, really nice. So you're just going to want a thread, oops, a needle threaded, ready, and then it's up to you whether you put 2 or 3 little strips together. So I think I've got like a nice little gap here, so I think I might have some bits on this bit. So I'm putting 2 of my little folder pieces together, open it up. Now it could go straight or I could do it on an angle. I think I'm going to go straight. So I'm putting it quite close to that couching. I'm going to pin one side down just so it holds it in place for me. Okay, right, and then we just do a little running stitch. So the running stitch is going right down the seam that you've just ironed. It's quite little ones. Little running stitch. And then you want to finish down the back. Nearly unthreaded my needle there. Okay, right, so there's our first one. So what you now do is you fold that over and then you get another one. So I'm just probably going to do mine just in twos, I think, and trim that. It just sticks up just a bit too much. It's better to start off with them too wide and then trim them than end up with them too small. Right, so the trick to this now is when that's folded over, the fold of this one needs to be right next to the one you've just done. And that's what creates that scrappy feel. Just pin it in place. Turn it upside down this time because I'm coming back from the other side. So I'm just going to come up through that crease. Oops. And then again, little running stitch, and this is basically what you keep doing. So things that you can do, it could follow a shape if you wanted to. It could curve round. These little strips could get smaller as you go along, so get a little bit narrower. So I come through to the back, take my pin off, and then that folds up to that bit there. So you can end up playing hairdressers, giving things a bit of a trim. It's quite nice actually if you ruffle your edges. So again, what we'll do next, fold that one up. So it might be, actually I might do a curve, maybe going around. So get another one. So I'm trying to blend this in with the colours of my threads. So this has sort of set my colour theme. Obviously you can break the rules if you wish. Well, no, you can't break. What am I talking about? You can't break the rules. So what I can do is squish that one in and move that out just a little bit. So I could go round, or now I'm going to go straight up. Change your mind. I'll pop another one in. Get my thread. And it's really, really important that you're stitching right into that crease, and that crease is bang smack next to the one that you've just done. If you want to really cram these in. The closer they are together, the more effective it ends up being. So a little running stitch, pin out, finish at the back, pull it through, and that's the next one. So you just keep on going, and that's going to be quite a nice little block of pieces that's going to be there. So that's that technique. That's your fringing. So we've got your paper piecing, your scrappy, not your fringing, sorry. And then we've got the little flags. So the little flags, we did 3, and these are just basically just laces, a little bit like what we've just done, I suppose, fairly similar. So you just want to choose some bits of fabrics. I love this because of the fringing on the end. So you just want to decide where you want your little flags to go. So I did 3 with the last one. I think I might just start off with 1 on this one and then see how I feel. So your little flags were just folded bits of fabric that were then just layered up. Some were bigger bits, some smaller bits. And then you could put little buttons on it or any other bits and pieces. So I quite like that because of the fringing. Then I've got this gorgeous sort of like tapestry, which is really, really pretty. So I'm going to pop a little slither of that on there. A little slither of that. I quite like the yellow over the top. Yeah, the gold over the top. Now we had them on a bit of a string that then we stitched onto our tag. I'm not going to do that with this. I'm just going to create some little flaggy bits and then I'm just going to stitch them on. So it's like where I've got ends of things, it'd be quite nice to use it to sort of, sorry, it's gone off the edge, sort of cover things up, cover edges up. So these are just going to be little folded bits of fabric. The needle. Oops. That I'm then just going to stitch on. So, helps if you put a knot in the end up. In fact, I might give that an iron so it stays flat. There we go. That's better. Even though I'm not a great fan of ironing, it does make your life a little bit easier. There we go. So I don't like the end of that, so I'm going to cut. Oh, mind you, I've got those nice squares there. Maybe it's going to go that way. Yeah, instead. So I'm going that way. So I'm just going to do a little stitch. There's quite a few bits of fabric going through that. So little things like this are going to be really good to add a bit of interest, bit of detail, bit of texture. They don't have to be over the top. They could be any shape because they're just flags. So they're just really little strips that you are just adding. So I don't know how many of those I'll add. I'm just going to put that one on for now. And I've just thought what I'll do is I'll attach my paper piece in just so you can see that as well. And then that's all three done. So I might just do a singular hexie just on its own. Got all these bits and pieces everywhere. That's quite cute. Quite like that. So it just covers that edge up just on there. So I don't know now what I've done with my hexagon. Where's that gone? Oh, it's there. Okay, so might pop a little button on that as well. Have I got anything handy? What have I got handy? I can just have a look. I had a box of buttons yesterday. Oh, there we go. Yep. A box of, what's it, buttons? There's a little button. Oh yeah, that'll look nice. Yeah, because then that's sort of bringing in the white. Now the question is do I go all the way through? I think I might actually, because it might get, this early in the day, it might get a little bit annoying. A little bit annoying. I'm going to start coughing, sorry. Oh dear. It might get a little bit annoying that that's flapping about. Oh, I've just got a tickle in the back of my throat. Yeah, just pop a couple of stitches just to hold that in there. There we go. Oh, I'm having one of the things. Tickle in my throat. My nose has started running. My eyes are running. So I'm now sniffing. Oh, what a morning. Oh yeah, that's nice. Right, so I've got my bit of paper piece in. So you just pop your needle in. You can usually just pull out your bit of paper. There we go. I usually keep these as well. I have a little jar because you can reuse them. Okay, so there's our paper piece in. So might oh, that looks quite cute there. Yep. So I might have some singular ones, and then I think I'm going to do a group, maybe travelling over there. So to stitch it down, come up the back of your fabric, the backing fabric, back of the backing fabric. Make sure your needle doesn't unthread. Which annoyingly mine has done. So whenever you're attaching anything, it's always a good idea to come up the backing fabric first and then go down the piece that you're attaching. It just gives it a neater stitch. Oh, this doesn't want to go through my needle. So I'm quite looking forward to sitting and stitching this evening. Not that I can see, my eyes are running, my nose is running. There we go, we're in. Okay, and then it's just the tiniest little stitch just to catch it down. And that's enough. You don't need any more. The one that we did on the tag, I then did running stitch over the top. So it'll be up to you whether or not you want to do that. So I'm just going to go around each of the corners. I'm glad I trimmed this down because it's still quite a big piece of fabric. I am quite enjoying it not being in a hoop as well. It feels a bit more tactile rather than it just being pulled really tight. Down. There we go, one more, and then that's this month's roulette. So I will do some more work on this and I'll attach some pictures. Rather than you sitting, you can go off and do this. You've got all month. No idea when the next one's going to come. It is a bit of roulette. I'm not doing it on a regular, like, oh, it's this Saturday of the month or this day, so you'll just have to watch out for when it appears. So there we are. So that's what I'm working on then this month. Is we've got our attached little flags from week 33, paper piecing from week 18, and then my favourite, the scrappy tags from week 3. So enjoy, have fun, enjoy your tag roulette, and I can't wait to see what you've been up to. See you next month. Happy stitching.